Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Claire So.
And I'm Matt Clark.
As the administration works with the campus master planning team to look at building renovations, one of the possibilities is Cosgrove Hall. And because Cosgrove houses our cafeteria, Sodexo is seeking student input ahead of that possible remodel. Sodexo's own CJ Bush says, although the remodel has not been approved, they want to make sure the food and the feel of the cafeteria are up to students' standards.
We're your mom's home-cooked meals, but we're going to strive to be as close as we can for quality-wise, and that's what we're going to accomplish in these upcoming renovations the next 2 years.
You can find a link to the survey on the Waggle sent out twice a week to your SAU email.
The Quad Cities River Bandits returned to play at Modern Woodman Park this week as water levels along the Mississippi River slowly go back to normal. Our Fighting Bee baseball team had to relocate all their home games for the rest of the season after weeks of flooding around the ballpark. But luckily, things worked out for the River Bandits, as they had games on the road throughout the flood's crest. The team is excited to finally return to the ballpark.
So fortunately, it timed out great for us this year to where we were on the road for 2 weeks while the flooding was at its peak. So it did not impact us in any way, shape, or form, luckily. So we're back this week, and we're playing games through Sunday, and we are just moving on basically like things are normal. Obviously, the parking situation is a little day-to-day as the remaining water gets out of there at some point. But as far as everything in the ballpark, no, it's full steam ahead, and we've got a full slate of games this week.
The River Bandits will have games through the weekend, so make sure to catch a game before summer break.
The art department's 3D design class used their sewing superpowers to turn kids' creation into real-life superheroes. The kids of faculty and staff members drew their own superhero and created powers and a storyline to go with them. The students hand-sewed the stuffed creations to bring these fictional characters to life.
It was a super fun experience to make something, knowing how much a child is going to love it and be able to take it home and play with it.
Despite the challenges of never having really hand sewn a whole lot of things before, it was definitely a lot of fun to get to sew something for a kid who's definitely going to hopefully cherish it for quite some time.
It was the superheroes' last day on display before they were gifted to the kids who designed them.
With commencement right around the corner, participating students were presented with their cultural stoles on Sunday. Hosted by the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, the event celebrates each student's achievements, their families, and their heritage. 34 students from various ethnic backgrounds were donned with their stoles at the ceremony.
I mean, it's a really special day. Obviously, I get to rock my stole for being Hispanic, Latinx. I'm Mexican-American, so I'm first-gen college student. Not only does our university, I respect them that they're respecting, our culture, but it gives me a sense of belonging. It gives me a sense of pride of who I am, my identity.
SAU's commencement will take place on Saturday, May 20th, with the graduate and doctoral ceremony starting at 9 a.m. and the undergraduate ceremony at 1 p.m.
Coming up next on SAU Weekly, Abby Racalis brings you what campus is buzzing about and what's the buzz.
She'll be joined in studio by our Provost and VP of Academic and Student Affairs, Dr. Paul Cook, to discuss preparations for spring commencement. We'll be right back.
It's finals exam week here at St. Ambrose University. The study crunch is on. Students across campus are feeling pressure. The library and computer center have been busy with students preparing for the close of another term. Librarians at SAU say, however, that the library isn't as busy as you'd expect with the warm weather. Students find more pleasant surroundings to study. Some students agree that it is difficult inside the library studying.
There's a lot more distractions. During your free time, you'd rather go sit in the park, enjoy the weather, or go to a bar and have a good time than be stuck in the library or in a classroom studying.
It may be more difficult to study this time of year for students. However, relief will come in just a few days.
In just a little over a week, SAU will host its spring commencement ceremony once again at the vibrant arena at the Mark. It takes months of planning from many of our own here at St. Ambrose.
Here to explain the work that goes into it is Abby Racalis in this week's What's the Buzz?
Hi everyone, this is What's the Buzz with Abby Varkalis, and here to join us today is Provost and Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs, Dr. Paul Cook. Paul, thank you so much for being here today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
He and other faculty and staff members put many hours of work into planning the spring commencement ceremony for graduation every year. Paul, when does planning for spring commencement begin?
Well, for this spring, it actually began a year ago, July. Every time we have a commencement, about a month after the ceremony, we get together, we talk about what went well at the ceremony and what could we do better in the future to make it a more joyous celebration for our students, because it's all about our students. And so for spring of 24, we will start in June or July again to debrief. And once we have that debriefing done for spring, we start in earnest planning for December commencement. The real work really does begin in January, and so we have this list of 176 items that we go through that's divided up among the 30 or so people that serve on the commencement committee, and we go month by month. Everybody's agreed to be held accountable for that, and they let us know when they've accomplished their tasks. So it's complex, but it's become a well-oiled machine simply thanks to the amazing people that serve on the committee.
Yeah. So is there any small details that need to be planned?
Yeah, I think there's many small details that go into making it a great celebration for our students and their family and friends. For example, we have to hang the backdrop at the River Center in December and at the arena in Moline for spring. And that means we have a crew of physical plant people that transport it to the arena. This year they can't get in Friday night to hang it, so they'll be there at Saturday at 6 in the morning to hang that with the assistance of the staff at the arena. It's lining up all the cards that we have to use that are handed to the name reader to spell out. So it's just numerous things that takes the work of an amazing group of people that plan this.
Right. Is there any big changes happening this year?
Not any major changes, I would say. One thing that's exciting this year, we are going to announce our first faculty winner of the Teaching and Innovation Award. So that will be fun to see happen. Yeah. And the person doesn't know that they're going to be announced. So we'll just hope they're at commencement.
Yeah, right. So with your retirement happening at the end of the year, how do you feel, seeing this as your last commencement?
I've always seen commencement as a joyous occasion. It's closure for our students, and this will be about my 85th commencement ceremony at St. Ambrose. We used to actually have a summer commencement as well for a number of years, and I think I've only missed one commencement since I started at St. Ambrose. It's just fun to see our students get to this point in their educational career, and I really see it as a rite of passage. I wish every student took advantage of it, to walk across that stage and just really hear how much we care about them moving on to the next phase of their journey. So I will honestly miss commencement. As a professor emeritus, I might just sneak back in and sit with the faculty in the future when we have commencement ceremonies.
Yeah. Well, Paul, congratulations on your retirement, and thank you so much for being here.
Oh, well, thank you.
SAU's commencement will take place on Saturday, May 20th, with the graduate and doctoral ceremony starting at 9 a.m. and the undergrad ceremony at 1 p.m. Back to you guys at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Abby. Coming up next in sports, the SAU Esports team takes on Quad City's rivals Augustana College in their battle for the river. And
we introduce you to some standouts from our track and field and baseball teams after their strong performances at conference.
Join SAU Weekly's Grant Mason as he takes you inside SAU athletics. Stay tuned.
Tune in to KALA and hear something different. Programming that celebrates the diversity of our listeners. We're advocates for the arts, showcasing your favorite music from around the world. We're storytellers, producing award-winning news and educational podcasts. We're dedicated sports fans, bringing you the latest Fighting Bee action from St. Ambrose University. We're a learning lab, mentoring the next generation of broadcasters and content creators. A part of your community for 5 decades. We're KALA Radio, 88.5 FM and 106.1 FM. Turn it on and turn it up.
SAU Esports headed over to Augustana College on Saturday to compete in multiple games in the second annual Battle for the River. In keeping with the river-themed tradition, the Fighting Bees and the Vikings competed for ownership of the famed rowing oar. They played games they normally don't play, such as Counter-Strike, virtual reality games, and even 80s arcade games.
We wanted to do something because even though we're only 15 minutes apart, we had no association with each other. So we came up with the Battle of the River last year, and due to COVID, last year was the first year, and it was just one game title, it was just Overwatch, and Augustana, they won the Battle of the River, so they got the oar. This year we were able to expand on that, and then next year I think there's plans to just continuously to keep growing this event.
With the esports season wrapping up, competitors plan to practice throughout the summer in preparation for their next season. It was a remarkable run for the SAU men's lacrosse team. The Fighting Bees captured the inaugural Hart Conference Tournament Championship to advance to the NAIA Invitational for the third straight season. Unfortunately, the Bees ran into a tough team from Keiser University and lost 19-7. SAU did take the early 2-0 lead on a goal from Isaiah Hahn, but it wouldn't last. Michael Chakrin led the way with 2 goals, and Cole Danner scored to finish with a team-high 26 goals on the season. The St. Ambrose men's and women's track and field teams both wrapped up successful seasons at the CCAC Outdoor Championships. The Fighting Bees were led by Will Reemsma and Anna Miller. Reemsma was named the Outstanding Male Track Performer, while Miller was named the Outstanding Female in the field events. The men's team would finish in second place as a team, while the women's team took third. A big reason for the women's success came from the performance of Anna Miller. She continues to make an impact with her abilities, but also her positive personality. From inside SAU Athletics, Lily Olson introduces us to Anna Miller.
Hi, I'm Anna Miller. I'm on the throws squad team, and I'm a junior. Basically all of them, so shot put, disc, hammer, and weight. Well, I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go, to be honest, because it was during COVID and everything. So my mom basically told me I had to decide, and Ambrose probably was the best fit for me. Gonzo's also very supportive, and he understands like things going on in your life other than throwing. So like just he's supportive in school, what you do outside of school. I have professors that I've had since freshman year that still reach out to me and say congratulations with like everything that I do in track, so it's really awesome. If everybody's cheering for each other, especially in practice, like we only have a couple girl shot putters and like it's just me and Allie basically, but being able to throw against the guys who throw extremely further than me makes you throw a lot farther. I probably have the most fun in shot. I've been the most successful in shot put. Well, that's not true. I've been the most successful in disc. I was an All-American last year. I got 8th place with the throw of 43.77, and that's a PR. And then shot put, I throw 14.36. This year I finally hit 14, and I keep throwing further, so that's really awesome. I would probably say consistency, like going to practice every day, making sure you're lifting every day, and just coming to practice with a goal in mind. So, like if you don't have something you're looking forward to or fixing in practice, then you can't be successful. It's okay not to always do your best, just because everybody has bad days. All athletes have bad days, and just it's important to have fun.
Thanks, Lily. Nolan Rudd also made headlines at the conference meet. He came home with first place finishes in the 3,000 meter steeplechase and the 5,000 meter run. Rudd has found success here at St. Ambrose, but that success wasn't always a sure thing. From inside SAU Athletics, Ross Willerth talked to Rudd about his journey.
I don't know, honestly, why I stuck with running for this long. It just felt right. I mean, it basically rewrote the story of my career, right? Like at lacrosse, I was some dude. Like I was just a guy on the team, so I didn't make the track team at all the whole time I was there. So I think like, obviously the hard part of that is like it becomes a part of you basically, right? So it's like getting to a point where you're used to not, like your life without running basically. So like, I'm still training all throughout that, I'm just not racing, and racing's the fun part. So it's like, just the mental grind of like having a vision for what the future could look like, but like knowing that in the present, it kind of sucks. Got lucky enough that St. Ambrose would take me, talk to Jansen. She was like, oh yeah, we'd be happy to have you.
Attaboy, Nolan!
I love competing. I love like seeing, can you like beat this guy? Can you outrun this guy? Who's gonna make it hurt more? The other thing I like about it is the team aspect. So it's like, whether you're the first guy or you're the last guy, like everyone's out there running as hard as they can. Like everyone's out there putting in the same effort. And I just think that's awesome. It's taught me a lot of lessons about being a leader and just kind of like my self-awareness, like how I am portrayed by the guys and like how I need to act to kind of lead by example, basically. You know, just to be in this place, breaking school records, be leading the team, be two-time All-American so far. I mean, it's just incredible.
Thanks, Ross. Switching from the track to the diamond, the St. Ambrose men's baseball team entered the CCAC tournament as the number 2 seed. The Fighting Bees would fall in their opening round game before winning 2 back-to-back elimination games, including a 7-2 win over top-seeded St. Francis. SAU would come up short against St. Xavier to end their season. Strong pitching was a strength for the Bees throughout the season, but one of their pitchers wasn't even thinking about taking the mound when his college career started. From inside SAU Athletics, Luke Carroll explains.
When I started transitioning from outfielder to pitcher, it happened my first year in college. I was at a junior college called South Suburban in South Holland, Illinois, and I was mainly an outfielder. Didn't really touch the mound at all in the fall. And with about 2 weeks left in the fall, I was rounding third coming home, and I completely had a full tear in my quad, and I wasn't able to run anymore.
Being a natural-born lefty, pitching was always a possibility for Boss.
They put me out there for a couple of the last games in the fall, and I ended up touching 88 miles an hour. And I didn't really have any off-speed pitches, but 88 was enough to catch their eye. By the end of the fall, I still wasn't okay to play outfield, but they told me I should probably consider putting it down and seeing how far the game of pitching would take me, and that's what I did.
And it's taken him right into the starting rotation here at St. Ambrose.
I actually love it here so far, and I'm a big fan of playing at Modern Woodman. Really nice stadium. Thankful for the Quad Cities River Bandits to let us play there and have a good time while they're in season as well.
The talent that Jake brought to the team was clear, especially to former rival and current teammate Jalen Avery.
I mean, I got to face Boss once or 2 times at JUCO. He's a good pitcher. He has some good stuff. He threw really hard, has some good movement on his curveball. So it's kind of fun and exciting. I'm actually playing with him now. Got to be roommates with him next year. So
now leading the team in strikeouts, he knows exactly what he has to do on the mound.
If I'm trusting everything that I throw, that nobody can touch it, and I'm going to keep challenging everybody until they prove to me that they can hit my fastball or my curveball or my changeup.
The hardest thrower on our team, easily. He's our only starting lefty. And, I mean, like, his curveball is disgusting. He's got a real nice 12-6.
Despite his talent, he knows that going to the national championship is no easy task.
We're going to hope to keep it clean, keep it as clean as we can, you know, minimize our mistakes, and come up in big situations when needed, and overall just make it to the national championship.
Thanks, Luke. That'll do it for Inside SAU Athletics. I'm Grant Mason.
That's all we have for you on this edition of SAU Weekly. We'll be back next term with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAUtv Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, top stories, and more. You can also find them on The Hive at SAUthebuzz.com. Before we leave you for summer break, we asked students what your break plans are. Thanks for watching.
Over summer break?
I'm going to be working. I'm going to get back to working out, and I think I'm going to head out to Arizona, visit a buddy of mine.
I'm going to go to Sox games with my friends and spend time with my family.
So I'll be working here at the Career Center, and I'll also be training for tutoring positions.
You know, I'm going to a lot of weddings because summer's obviously a wedding season. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of traveling.
So this summer I'm pretty much just going to be working.
Where?
I work at the Subway in Walcott.
Work. Where? The golf course.
I am working for Catholic Heart Work Camp, which is a
summer service trip that we go across the country and lead high schoolers in service and mission work. And then at night I help them with just program, which is like the fun events that we do, and it's pretty intense. So that's what I'm doing for this summer.